Hello and welcome back to another Understand Your Buyer video. In this video, we're talking about communication preference. So what is it? Well, some people prefer to call, others prefer to text, and others prefer to email. Finding out the communication preference of your buyer and then communicating with them in that medium is a powerful tool that very few businesses use. We generally only ask about communication preference when it comes to promotional stuff. How would you like us to spam you? Would you like us to text you or email you or send you stuff through the post? Rather than, how would you like us to actually communicate with you? For some people, using WhatsApp or using text message, because of the work they do or the situation they're in or whatever, that could be way more convenient than phone calls or anything else. So taking the time to ask can make all the difference. How does it work? Well, it works because it makes your buyer feel valued and respected. It also works because if I'm an email person and you try to phone me, probably not going to pick up. It's much better to communicate with your buyer in the way they prefer if you want a response. And the only way you can really find out is by asking them. But I tend to prefer emails or texts or WhatsApps, etc. I don't really like phone calls. There's something about phone calls that feels really kind of immediate and really important and serious that I don't like. And I'm one of those people, if you're trying to call me, I just won't take the call and I'll email you back and see what you want. Can't really explain it more than that, but that's how I like to communicate. So if the person knew that and they asked me at the start and I just got a text message saying, hey James, here's the question, here's the thing, they'll get a response really quickly. And also, I'll feel valued and respected because they remembered my preference, which is really important. And as a buyer, I've got a sign on my head that says, make me feel important. So if you remember a detail like that, it absolutely does make me feel important. So how can you use this in your business? Most importantly, well, to make this work, you need to do two very distinct things. First of all, you need to ask your buyers what their communication preference is at the earliest opportunity. It could be through an online form or by simply asking somebody and using this kind of phraseology as well. Are you an email person or are you a phone person? So rather than would you prefer email or phone call, asking somebody if they're an email person, a phone person, a WhatsApp person, a text message person, whatever, that's going to work better. Asking in that more informal way, it just makes it easier to slip in a conversation. It sounds a lot less formal than would you like us to email you or call you? And by making it more informal, it allows the person to feel like they're not odd for not wanting a phone call. It's quite acceptable. We're just trying to work out what their preference is. It's as simple as that. Second thing, you need to make sure that you, and it sounds really ridiculous, you actually follow through and communicate in the way that you are supposed to. There's no point asking me if I'm an email person. I say yes, and then you call me. That's not going to work, is it? And worse still, any failure here is going to make the whole exercise completely useless, but it's also going to annoy the person even more because you went out of your way to ask them and you raised their hopes and expectations. Oh, great. They're only going to email me. They understand me. Oh, this is nice. And then they phone me. So you could be worse for the journey. You could have just not bothered to ask me and just tried to phone me anyway. I'd probably feel happier about the whole thing. Oh, I got my soapbox there. So that is communication preference. Are you an email person? Are you a phone call person? Understanding how your buyer likes to communicate is going to dramatically improve their buying experience, but it's also going to improve the likelihood of them responding to your communication, which is the name of the game. Well, that's it for another Understand Your Buyer video. And if you like this kind of stuff, then you'll definitely like the book, which you can buy at understandyourbuyer.com.